Man, I really have missed this series. Just watching episode 2 and 3 back to back, honestly, was a very enjoyable experience for me. And I'm glad I kind of waited to watch both episodes back to back, because I would have been a little bit upset if I didn't watch episode 2 and 3 back to back, because the end of episode 2 left on quite the cliffhanger, and I wanted to see what was really going to happen. Sadly, episode 3 ends on a massive cliffhanger, and I still want to see what's going to happen, so I'm still kind of in the same situation I would have been in if I, watched episode 2 and didn't see 3. But regardless, okay? The point is that this episode of Danmachi, or these 2 episodes of Danmachi, or Dungeon Girl, it's definitely taking a step in a direction I like, especially finding out that Hestia actually has 4 members. That's legit happening. Hestia has 4 members. She has 4 members in her family. That blows my mind. That legitimately blows my freaking mind that, she has that. Because I always thought it was just going to be Belle and Hestia, and you're just going to have other families pitch in and help out or whatever. I figured that was going to be kind of like the theme for a long time, but apparently not. I'm actually happy. I'm very happy, because this means that we're finally stepping into the direction to where Hestia will start becoming a little bit more famous, to where people will start respecting her a little bit more, and maybe they can actually get out of their broken abode. They actually get a nice little, home to stay in that isn't actually run down like what they were staying in. So hopefully something like that indeed does happen. But okay, I want to stop there for a moment and just talk about the politics within this episode. I actually forgot how much I missed seeing these gods really just going back and forth with each other with politics. It's something that I missed. I really did miss. And I always thought it was just interesting to see stuff like this in stories, because it's why I love mythology. Just Greek mythology alone and Roman mythology is absolutely amazing, and Norse mythology as well, because of stuff like this. Seeing themes where there's individual gods that just hate each other, they bicker back and forth because of certain issues they have, and you can clearly see that's playing a major role within this episode, or these 2 episodes of Dungeon Girl, because Apollo, he's starting beef because he wants Belle for himself. He wants Belle a part of his group because he has a powerful family, and obviously he wants to get back at Hestia because he's petty, but on top of that, he just wants Belle because Belle interests him, which is very creepy, by the way. His facial expressions, all that, very creepy. Like, that's some SAO level creep face that's going on. But the point is, he wants Belle for himself. And as we know from the first season, Freya as an individual is someone that also wants Belle. And so because of that, she obviously doesn't want Apollo to continue doing what he's doing. And so that is kind of why she's slightly going out of her own way, even twisted, to help out Belle. Because the whole Minotaur thing was to kind of make him stronger, kind of, ripen him to a certain extent for her, I guess, favor for what she wants. So I think that at the end of the day, Freya is a scary individual, and I do like her political pull behind the scenes, because she's a very powerful individual within this story. She's very strong. We know that she's very high up there on the same level as Loki in terms of power when it comes to these families. So Freya obviously working behind the scenes makes sense, because she does have a lot of pull with the other gods. And on top of that as well, I do like how within this episode you could see that when it comes to the families not really helping each other, it plays a major part of this arc. And like I said, it's something that we were kind of missing in the first season. Because with the first season, Belle was having a very unique experience. Like, the first episode of Dungeon Girl of Season 2 starts off telling us that he did have a lot of unique experiences, which wasn't necessarily natural. It's not something that you should really get accustomed to, because it doesn't really just happen. Because most of the time, all of the families are competing with each other, trying to get money money, etc., and make their family more famous. And so if you're working together, it doesn't really go with the main theme of what they're trying to do. So because of that, Belle's experiences are very different, and I do like how he's now starting to experience the fact that he can't always receive help from every single family that he's been working with. He needs to rely on his own family and build up his own power, which is essentially what happened at the end of this episode. The people that he has been talking to joined Hestia's group for they can be a part of it and help him out whenever the time, he needs help. So it's good news. Overall, it's just really good news just to see that happen, because Belle needs to learn that he can't rely on everyone. He needs to be able to do this with what he has at his disposal, just himself and his group. And so, it's important. Now, another thing, too, to get into is also seeing how the event happened, the war game between the two gods, Hestia and Apollo. So the war game apparently is Siege, which honestly sounds like a lot of fun, but when you really think about the teams, it's very unbalanced, because you have Apollo that has like 50, maybe 100 plus 200 people a part of his family, which is a lot. Maybe nothing in comparison to, like, Freya and Loki, but still, Apollo having, 50 to, 200 people is still insane, okay? It's a lot. Way more than Hestia, because Hestia, as we know, she only has one, now 4 technically, and is going to be having a guest person, I think is Ryu, I think that's how you pronounce her name. She's going to be popping up and helping out as well as a guest support role, because you can see the scene within this episode. So it's, it's 5 v 200. That's kind of insane, honestly, because that means that they're going to have to take out a lot of individuals just to be able to even the scale. So, hypothetically, if there was only 4 members, and just the 4 Hestia members without the guest member like Rue coming in, that would mean that the 4 would have to take out 25 people each if there was 100 Apollo members. So that's kind of bad, because there is a thing about stamina. Eventually you're going to be tired down. I mean, let's look at Belle within the episodes that he was running away from Apollo's family, is that he was getting tired. He was getting very tired. He was on the, run, and he was getting attacked constantly. He tired down to where he couldn't really do much. And so after a lot of fighting, this is what's going to happen. You can only take so much damage, or only do so much until you tire out and you can't do anything anymore. And he needs to be able to build up stamina to be able to fight back, but also he needs to have more people to fill in, because he cannot do all of that by himself. So I do think that it's still going to be a crazy battle. It's very unbalanced, because even if they're the ones that is sieging Apollo, where he lives, it doesn't change the fact that there's still 4 to 5 people going up against 100 or 200, and they can easily fortify and defend their place before they get, attacked at the end. And I'm assuming the goal is to, bring down Apollo. So, yeah. Now, anything else? Let's see. Anything else really to get into for this episode? Honestly, oh yeah, there is definitely the signature Hestia fan service. Man, I just forgot how much, there was until rewatching, this series. Now watching the series once again after it's been so long, I just completely forgot. But Hestia is over the top in terms of fan service. I think it was a very simplistic, 2 episodes, really it was. The main point of it was just to show that Belle is training to get a lot stronger. You have it to where there's the political stuff going on with the gods, Hestia gaining members, and then just seeing how Freya's being creepy, and then how Apollo's being creepy. That's pretty much about it. That's really all you can really get from the 2 episodes, besides the whole event with the wine, I guess. That is a very important scene, I guess. The Lily stuff, I think, it's good. It's a good scene. I just didn't think it needed to be redone like it did, because even if it wasn't fully concluded in the first season, I felt like it was already concluded in terms of her understanding how much Belle and Hestia and them care about her. I thought she would already have been very aware of that, so seeing her kind of recognize or realize these feelings and rekindle them, it's just you already know this. You should already know that they care about you and they would do a lot for you, and that it shouldn't really blow your mind that they're doing that. But seeing the conclusion of how she stood up to Soma, the god of her family, and it's like, I want to change and all that, that is a moment to show that she's, finally done. She's removed her shackles from her old family and going to her new family that actually accepts her for who she is. So it is a very important scene. But I just do think that it's a little bit dragged out for my taste in terms of that. I feel like we could have focused a little bit more on, the bell training and stuff like that, if you want to hear my honest opinion. So, yeah, that's about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe. If you like this video, please leave a like. And if you want to get notified for whenever I upload a video, please click the bell icon down below. And with that, Chibi out.